Okay, everyone, welcome back. Happy New Year, our first monthly marketing meeting of the year. I'm here with Devin Kropp, um, associate editor here at Horse's Mouth. And Devin, Happy New Year to you.
Thanks. Happy New Year.
Um, it's January. It's always a good time to, if you haven't given much thought to your annual marketing by now, now's the time to do it. So let me throw it over to you.
Okay, great. Here's just a roadmap of where we're going to go today. We're going to be talking, as Sean mentioned, about uh, your marketing plan and what that will look like for the year. And then during these meetings, in our second portion, we get into the details of what our advisor client members and master members should be doing for their marketing for this month of January and next month of February. And then we close out with some member questions. So that's our kind of agenda here today. But I want to start by talking about a survey that Broadridge does every year about advisors and their marketing. And I want to just review some of the key kind of points, takeaways from it, and then we can kind of get into how does that influence you creating a marketing plan and what does that look like for most advisors. Um, but we look at the survey every year and the numbers are always pretty similar, but still nonetheless kind of shocking. So Broadridge surveys a bunch of advisors, and I would say for the past 4 years now, this number has stayed relatively stable, where only 20% of advisors have a defined marketing plan. So the vast majority, um, of advisors are not operating from a marketing plan. This number actually went down this year. I think that last year it was 23%, and now we're down to 20%. So where we hope this number would be increasing, it actually has been decreasing. And we can get into kind of the reasons behind that in a little bit. But more interestingly, when they split that group, right, the 80% who are not working from a marketing plan and the 20% who are, um, of those who do not have a plan, about 62% are still confident that they'll reach their practice growth goals in the next year. This number actually did increase from the year prior. Um, I'm not sure where that confidence is coming from, but about slightly more than half still feel like they're going to reach the goals that they want. However, you can see that of the 20% who do have a plan, 83% of them are confident that they're going to reach their practice growth goals. So it's still a pretty substantial number, a difference of in confidence levels there between the two groups. But this, like I said, we've seen now for 4 or 5 years this trend of a small portion of the advisory business working from a plan. Sean, anything you want to add on these stats here?
No, other than Nadine in the chat was questioning like, oh, she wonders if this is due to the aging of the advisor population. But if that was the case, well, I mean, the aging has people moving out, and so there will be younger people coming in. That's one way to look at it. And there's still fewer using marketing plans than ever before. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. You also could think, and I will speculate, um, you know, really since 2008, there have been some down years, but we've been on this amazingly long bull market. And I'm speaking broadly. I know technically there's been more than one bull market, but we are like, we just finished last week, 2 years in a row, up 20%, more than 20%. So, at some point, advisors can start to think that things are going well. The market's going well. Things, they take credit for it. They might not take credit for it. They might not think they need marketing. Hard to say. But to me, the important part is that those who operate from a marketing plan are vastly more confident they're going to reach their goals, and in fact, do reach their goals. We have other data that shows that with among Horse's Mouth Master members. So yeah, I think uh, I mean, it's just been perplexing to me why people, I mean, I do understand it, right? This industry is a classic example of, too many hats to wear, not enough time to do it. Marketing is one of those things that tends to suffer. Uh, and because people if you're doing a good job with your client base, always count on a minimum amount of decent referrals coupled with strong bull market, and people can still feel like things are chugging along fairly well. But we're here to tell you that if you're really interested in optimizing the growth of your business and maximizing your opportunities, uh, it having a defined marketing plan isn't that much work. And when you do have a defined marketing plan, the chances of you succeeding are much higher, as Devin has been saying. So that's all I'll say on that for now, Devin.
Yeah, thank you. And kind of going into, maybe what Nadine is talking about, Broadridge went a little bit further, and they do want to understand, why are so many advisors not working from a plan? What are the top challenges when it comes to marketing for advisors? And these are the results here. They found that 3 in 10 advisors spend less than 1 hour per week on marketing. So finding the time is a challenge. As Sean was mentioning, too many hats and not enough time to do things. I think that's certainly true for many people, and maybe you relate to that too. Finding the right people, we hear this all the time, right? 70% of advisors are doing the marketing themselves. And again, many are busy and doing other things and maybe not formally trained in marketing. So that's, certainly a challenge. And then to be able to, combat that and find a marketing person that's also savvy with the business and what that looks like can be a challenge for people. So that's another reason where we see kind of these marketing plan dip. And then overall, many report just developing a marketing strategy is very challenging for them. 3 in 10 advisors have an overall strategy. I think for many, it can just be intimidating. And again, the time and the people kind of play into that as well. If you're doing it on your own, it can be difficult. And so I think those are some reasons why we see the results we see year after year. But I think there are some ways that we could talk about in a little bit that, we can overcome some of these challenges and make marketing an easier task for our advisors out there. Broadridge also asks about investor expectations, and I think this is just interesting to think about. I know we have, our A+ students here, so many of you probably have a marketing plan or at least want to create one. So I think these stats here are important to consider when you're thinking about your marketing plan as a whole. We found that over half of investors want and expect financial education from their advisor. They think that's an important thing that their advisor should be delivering to them on a regular basis. They found that less than half of advisors are sharing personalized content with clients, and clients want more personalized content. And this, I think, is really interesting, this last one here, when they asked investors and clients about communication frequency, they reported that only a quarter reported meeting client expectations on communication frequency. This is really interesting to me because I will say in the advisor client program, in many different webinars and presentations that we do, I often get a question of like, I feel like I'm over communicating and I'm annoying my list and I don't know what the right number is. And I've always held the belief that most advisors are not communicating enough. And even when you think you are, you're probably not, because not everyone is reading everything that comes through. I think this was a really eye-opening stat to see that only a quarter of advisors, according to clients, are hitting that expectation on communication frequency. So most of you can probably up the number of communications that you're sending out or sharing on a regular basis. Sean, you want to add anything here?
No, I'm good right now, Devin. I
Okay.
was thinking about going off script and having our group take the marketing audit.
Okay. Well, I'll keep going and then you get
You,
that
you
ready.
keep going. I'll see if I
Okay.
can do that. Yeah.
So this was the first year that Broadridge incorporated AI usage into the study. So I also wanted to talk about this. If you've been here a while, we're really focused on helping advisors embrace AI. And I think that this is actually probably the answer to many of the marketing challenges that Broadridge found in the survey. And I think AI adoption will allow more advisors to come up with a marketing plan and marketing strategy that works for them. But what you can see is very interesting here. Only and this survey was done in 2024. So these numbers may be different now, but this is the most recent data that Broadridge has. 8% of advisors were currently using AI. I would say that's pretty on par with the internal horse's mouth survey we did of advisors. I think it was about 10% were using AI. So that I would say that number is fairly accurate. 35% are not using it now, but plan to use it in the future. But over half do not use AI and do not plan to use it in the future. If that stays the same, I don't think we'll see an increase in in marketing plans among advisors, because many of the challenges that advisors report when it comes to a marketing plan can be solved with some strategic AI usage. And of the advisors who do use AI or plan to use AI, this is how they plan on using it. Over half want to use it to generate personalized content. 45% for personalizing their marketing campaigns, 40% for automating tasks and communications, and 22% for segmenting clients or prospects. And just as a little plug here too, if you're in that 35% who are not using it but want to be using it, or even if you're in that 8%, or if you're in the group that doesn't want to use it, but maybe you're getting intrigued about it, we are putting on, Sean and I will be putting on a AI marketing for advisors starting next week, where we're going to be talking about how you can use AI to improve your marketing, to have a marketing plan, and be able to execute that marketing plan on a regular basis and have success with it. So, Sean, I'll turn it back to you in case you want to.
Oh, you think I have something to say about this?
Well, I don't know if you want to send the marketing audit or.
So I do.
You did, okay.
It's being sarcastic. Yeah, well, listen, I mean, we know this industry, people are challenged by marketing. The introduction of AI is like the absolute perfect use case for this tool. And so our program is going to demonstrate that in spades to everyone, all the variety of different ways you can use it. But we've been creating some tools for the program as well. And I thought, oh, what the heck? It's just 5 minutes. You do need ChatGPT. If you look in the, well, actually here, why don't we?
Yeah, I can stop sharing. So if you want to pull it up, you can
Yeah, good.
do that.
Good idea on that, Devin. So I have sent the link around. Hopefully it works for you. You do need to have I think you need a paid ChatGPT account to do this. This is a little 5-minute marketing audit. It's one of many things that we're going to be doing with our, with our 5-week program. So you just click the link to start the audit, and it says, it's a process designed to help you quickly assess your recent marketing activities. It's going to step you through and ask you a variety of questions. So statement 1, I can clearly articulate who my ideal client is. So you're rating yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. So I can say 5 on that for sure. I have documentation. I've documented profiles of ideal client types. I'm speaking now as Sean Bailey, who does marketing for Horse's Mouth. And, have I documented my detailed profiles? No, in fact, I do know that there are a variety of different types of advisors out there. And after 20 years, I hope I know that. But I don't think I've done a very good job of documenting it. I might even give myself a 2 on that. And so there goes that. Interesting. Okay, let me give myself a 2. It's not taking it. Statement 1, clear. Oh, there it is. Statement 2, I've documented. I gave myself a 2. Number 3, value proposition resonates with prospects. My value proposition resonates with prospects. I say our Horse's Mouth value proposition is a 4. I think it could do a better job. Partly because I think we have different types of advisors who use the Horse's Mouth programs for different reasons. And so I don't think we've finally honed that the way it should be. My team understands and can communicate our target clients. Some do, some don't. I'm going to give ourselves a 3 on that one. I wish it was better. Something to work on this year. Statement 5, our marketing activities consistently reach ideal prospects. No, I don't think so, actually. We know we've got our own internal challenges with our marketing here. 6, our digital presence attracts ideal prospects. I'd still just give ourselves a 3 on that one. Our referral process generates quality leads. Well, to the degree to which we have them, when other advisors recommend horse's mouth, they're usually pretty good candidates. So I'd give ourselves a 4 on that one. Statement 8, marketing roles and responsibilities are clear. I do not think that is so, for a variety of reasons. So I give myself another 3 here. It's going to tell me I have some work to do in marketing this year. We effectively manage marketing time. I give myself a 4 on that. I think we do a pretty good job on that. Question 10, are marketing messages consistent across channels? Yeah, I do think I give ourselves a 5 on that. It's consistent, but it's not reaching all the right people in my view. And so it comes back and says, thank you for completing this quick rating section. Now let's move on to step 3, key performance metrics. New clients added in the last 12 months. Okay, well, you guys can answer that one. I'm not going to answer that publicly here. And frankly, I don't really know that number, which is a problem in and of itself. But to put in, I have to give it a number to move on. New clients added in the last 12 months. Well, I'm going to say 300 in the last 12 months, actually. Target number of new clients in the next 12 months. All right. I would like 1,000 new clients in the next 12 months at horse's mouth. Current prospect to conversion ratio. Well, when we do have a chance to sit down with people, we tend to convert at about 75%, I think. Average number of social posts per month. Well, Devin, you would probably know the answer to that. I'm guessing, I don't know the answer to that. What would
I
you
would
say?
say, I would average about 50, probably more than that.
All right, we'll say 50. Number of active referral sources. Again, for horses, yeah, I'm just answering. You guys answered your way, right? And our number of active referral sources. Well, I'm just going to say not sure. No problem. I'll leave that as a not sure. Now let's move on to step 4, current marketing state. What is your current value proposition? Well, I wish I could say it right off the top of my head, but I'll say we help financial advisors succeed, helping them succeed with their clients. Usually ChatGPT will blow some smoke up, you know what? It didn't say anything other than thank you now. I thought it could come back and say, oh, Sean, that's, pretty good value proposition statement, but it doesn't. List 3 top qualities of your ideal client. 1, entrepreneurial. 2, growth mindset. 3, willing to spend money, make money. Devin, we created this marketing audit more than a month ago. I forget where it's going at this point, but I think
Me too.
which marketing activity has been most effective for you? I'd say webinars and direct mail. Which marketing activity has been least effective? I'm going to say robocalls. What are the primary digital channels we use? Well, social. Well, really, not LinkedIn. LinkedIn, website, email. Well, this is a made-up number. Thank you for the detail. Now let's move on to step 5, team process and review. Who you? I guess me. How frequently does your team meet to discuss? Weekly, but not enough. Month on that. Okay, here we are. We get a summary of it at the end. Marketing audit summary. I can clearly articulate my ideal client 5. I have documented profiles of my ideal clients 2. Value proposition resonates 4. Team understands 3. Key performance metrics. I'm not going to repeat all this, but current value proposition, team process. And then ChatGPT says, that's it. Take a moment to save this summary and feel free to reach out if you'd like to help refining it. Anyways, there's a tiny thing that we run people through in the program. I'm going to throw it back over to you, Devin. I'm going to stop sharing now. I don't know if anybody actually got to do that in the chat. I recommend just some quick answers to RW. Yeah, I recommend that you do the $20 a month. No, I do not recommend you do the $200 per month. There may be some point in the future where that would be genuinely valuable for financial advisors. But at this moment in time, the people who are taking advantage of ChatGPT's $200 a month program are computer programmers. One of them, these AI models are amazing. They can write and speak and talk to us, and they can write code. And computer programmers who write code, they're the ones that are really leveraging these AI models in unbelievable ways. And so that $200 a month thing is really kind of targeted for now, I believe, or people who are taking advantage of it be people who are computer programmers. So go with the $20 a month model. You still have access to the O1 reasoning model. And the $200 a month, you get unlimited access to it. But anyway, that would be my answer to that question. Yes, and Devin already answered it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Devin.
Okay. So yeah, we just wanted to briefly talk about AI and how that can help in your marketing plan. But then I also want to more generally talk about your marketing plan without the use of AI, if that's not where you're at right now. And so when we talk about what should be included in your marketing plan, if you're in this camp right now, I don't know where to start. I'm not even sure what should be included in here. This is kind of how we break it down within our advisor client program for our members, is that you need to have a communications plan, needs to be part of your marketing plan. An absolute minimum of 12 touches per year, but that number should really be closer to 40 or 50 touches per year. And for our members who are here with us right now, we set up the marketing calendar for you for the year. And I think if you were to do everything that's in that calendar from a communication standpoint, you're hitting 50 communication touches for the full year. And I think that's a really great number for you to be at. Communication touches, just for any newbies out there, can span from a client newsletter that you send out, any sort of kind of email communication, whether it's a white paper that you've written, a newsletter you've written, a blog post, any sort of handout that you get from your firm or from someone like us that you send out. Those are all those communication touches. Educational events, as we just saw from the investor expectations, most want and expect financial education from their advisors. They see you as a go-to knowledge resource for them. And so planning out educational events for the year for clients and for prospects is going to be an important part of your marketing plan. In our marketing calendar, we lay out one per month. I recognize that that is a lot of work and not necessarily reasonable for everyone, but think about how many educational events you can do per year and try to schedule some of those. They can, again, be for clients, they can be prospecting events, they can be a combination of the two. But the key is getting out there, doing in-person or webinars that are providing education to the community on different financial topics, making yourself the go-to financial educator in your community. On the flip side of that, we still see an importance around kind of the more social or the client appreciation events, just to get to know people on a more personal level, provide value for your clients. So thinking about doing a couple of those every year is important. I'm sure many of you kind of have this already solidified, but making sure you're continuing with that. You want some referral marketing strategies in there. We know that referrals continue to be the number one source of new growth for advisors. However, many don't have an actual referral strategy in place. It's kind of just they get referrals from clients and that's how it works. So thinking about some strategies that can help you ensure that those referrals are going to continue to come in. And then some digital marketing initiatives, right? Maybe you want to do more videos this year. Maybe you want to become more active in social media, thinking about new things that you can do in that area. And I know that's a lot, but I know many of you are advisor client members. We just finished our marketing boot camp a few weeks ago before the end of the year. It's now all available on demand on the advisor client website. So you can go back and watch the 4-part webinar series where we walk you through basically everything I just showed you on that last slide. We also introduced the 2025 marketing calendar for you, which lays out all of your communication touches and your educational events for the year. So if you don't want to spend time creating your own marketing plan, you could essentially use our marketing calendar as kind of the basis for your marketing plan for the year from a communications and event standpoint, at least, and then kind of edit to include some other maybe referral strategies or digital strategies you want to include. But it's a great starting point. We organize each month around a theme. The communications and the events go back to that theme. So it's a very organized way to showcase what you do throughout the year, all the different financial topics that you help your clients and prospects with. It keeps you top of mind with lots of communication touches. There's some in there for CPAs and COIs, some for clients and prospects. So it's a really great resource. If you haven't used it in the past and you're an advisor client or a master member, I highly recommend checking out the calendar. And you can kind of just go through and have your communications and your events scheduled for the year without much work on your part. So that's a great area for you to take a look. If you don't have a marketing plan right now, if you want to beef up the marketing plan that you do have, if you just want some ideas, that's a great place to go. Sean, anything you want to add here before we move on to marketing activities?
No, I think that's good.
So the second part of our monthly marketing meeting, we want to talk about the calendar that I was just mentioning, and just lay out the activities we have scheduled for January and February for you to share with your list. So for January, we have 2 really important handouts I want to highlight today, which I'll show you more in depth in a minute here, but we have our 2025 key financial data, which is now final and available for you to download and order. We'll take a look at that in a minute. We have our 2025 retirement calendar checklist, which is another great resource if you're going after that retiree market. For our presentation, we have a year in review that's coming soon. The finishing touches are just being put on that as 2024 just closed out. So that should be coming the next week or so if you want to do kind of a 2024 review, but also look ahead to what might be coming in 2025. This is a really comprehensive presentation that will walk clients and prospects kind of through what last year looked like, what we expect to see this year, any new changes coming, things like that. So that's coming soon as well. But I want to highlight quickly the two handouts I just mentioned. This is our key financial data card. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. It has all of the key numbers you need for 2025, the tax brackets, standard deduction, Medicare premium, Social Security, retirement contribution amounts, all the tax deadlines and dates. There is so much data on here. And while you might think like, oh, a client will never look at this, they actually love this. They like getting it from you and knowing that you know all of these numbers for them. It could be personalized with your information. This is a sample you see here, but this would be up here, all of your information, your photo, your logo, your contact information. It's available in 8 different colors for our advisor, client, and master members. You can get the PDFs of these. You can also order prints for a cost as well. But this is a great, great, great handout. CPAs love this thing too. So if you're part of your marketing initiative for 2025 is to boost those relationships with CPAs, definitely want to send them a copy of this too. They keep it on their desk. They love it. It has all the numbers that they need to reference throughout the year. This is one of those pieces that is very much worth sending out a hard copy version to everyone on your list in addition to a PDF, because people will reference this and it's worth the couple cents to print out each copy of it and send it out. We also have toolkits that go along with this in the advisor client program. So if you need cover letters to include with it or any other kind of additional marketing materials, that's available in those toolkits as well. But this is probably our most popular handout for good reason and something you want to be sending out now, but it also has a pretty long shelf life. It's good through filing in April of 2026. So you can send this out multiple times over the next 15 months and really get good results from it. Sean, anything to add on key data?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just mention, you kind of touched on it a tiny bit, but sending this to your clients is a way of putting a deposit in the value and trust bank that the virtual value and trust bank that you have with your clients. When they see all these numbers and stuff, it just reinforces the idea of like, yes, I don't really know this stuff, but Nadine does, Stevan does, and that's why they're my advisor. And so it is a great way to, at a minimum, trigger that small amount of thinking that goes on when your clients look at it. And so Devin was saying also, a hard copy is the way to really go. And let me say that we offer a PDF version and you can print your hard copies through us, but you can get the PDF version and print it on your own down at Staples or, what is it? FedEx? What is it called?
Yeah, FedEx. I think they bought Kinko's and now it's
Right.
FedEx. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. And you can get them printed out there on card stock, and it's totally affordable. And you can print out as many as you like and have them to hand out to clients throughout the year. It's a good take, when you're meeting one-on-one with them. It's a good thing to have on hand, and you can control your costs that way too. You don't have to buy the printed copies through us. So just wanted to say that as well. All right.
Yep. And our second handout for the month is our retirement calendar checklist. This breaks down certain actions that retirees need to take each month throughout the year. So especially if you have people who are in retirement, early stages of retirement, or even pre-retirement who are thinking about retiring in the next few years, this is a great resource because it just is a good reminder of the kind of the key deadlines that they want to keep track of in this new phase of life. And then on the back side, there's also some birthday milestones, right? So things they need to do at each age, some other tasks, review. Again, worth, I think, sending out a hard copy of this. People will put it, on their fridge or in their office and be able to look back at it on each month and just make sure that they're staying on track. So another really great resource to send out at the beginning of the year to especially those retiree and pre-retiree clients. And then looking ahead to February, our reprint is creating a financially organized life. This is just a great reprint that will walk clients and prospects through the steps of really getting their documents organized and how they can do that, some methods. So that's great. And we'll talk about that more in our February meeting. We have our 2025 financial fitness checkup, which I'm going to show you here in a second. And then the presentation is around estate planning. Again, thinking about the whole idea of organizing documents and making sure that your kind of financial life is in order in the beginning part of the year. But I did quickly want to show you the financial fitness checkup because this is another great checklist. You might want to start prepping it now to send out in February, which is why I wanted to highlight it. These are just 2 pages of it. It's actually a 4-page document, but it only takes clients and prospects a few minutes to go through. They simply check yes or no for each of the questions. They're able to add notes. They can schedule a meeting with you, bring it in, and now you kind of have this agenda for the year of things that you're keeping an eye on for these clients and prospects. It's personalized again with your information. A really great thing to send out in that beginning part of the year as everyone's kind of in that organization and resolution part of the year. We also have a client action webinar. That's a short PowerPoint presentation that goes along with this handout. So you can send it out to clients, schedule this quick webinar, walk them through it, have them complete it while they're on the webinar with you, schedule a meeting, and then discuss it further. So this is something you might want to look at now in January if you're interested in doing it next month, so you can, get it personalized, schedule the webinar and do the whole thing. So I wanted to show that to everyone now in case you're interested in doing that next month or, at any point in the first quarter. I think it could be really impactful. And those are your main activities. Now we're going to hop into our member questions. So these are some questions that we have on deck. The first is, how frequently should we be communicating with our email list to stay top of mind without overwhelming them? And what mix of educational versus promotional content do you recommend?
Devin, before we do that, Nadine had a good question in the chat there. And Nadine, if you want to come off camera, or come on camera, if you are actually listening, good. I see that that's possible. Hi, Nadine. How you doing? Happy. Uh, Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. So, yeah. Uh-huh. Are they accepting, are they accepting your offer to come in for the one-on-one meeting afterwards? Right. And are these live? Mhm, mhm. Right. But you're not getting the appointments, or you're getting the appointments, but they're not showing up, which it. No, those presentations work. I can tell you, we built an entire business around it, and they continue to work. So I am curious about why things are dropping off for you, because there's a number of things going on. One is that we're at peak, this is peak 65. The next 2 years, there are more people turning 65, coming into the general sweet spot of being concerned about Social Security and Medicare. So your numbers should be better than ever at this point. If
Mhm.
we're saying this to me 3 years from now or 4 years from now, I would say, well, we're probably seeing as the drop off is the Gen X, we're moving into the Gen X, the next era, and there are just simply less of them. But that's not the case now. It shouldn't be the case. And, we probably don't have time to totally debrief, Nadine, but I would love to debrief with you because I know you're an excellent advisor and you had early on success. And I do want to get in there and try and figure that out. So what do you say we
That'd be great.
schedule a meeting on
Yeah,
that?
that'd be great. That'd be great because we've got
And
to,
yeah,
because we
and
really need to ramp up these next 2 years,
yeah, right.
and bring this to where it is. I mean, we had a great year, but markets were up. That was
Yeah,
we
right.
got new clients because of referrals,
Sure.
but I want the next 2 years to be on overdrive.
Yeah, right. So I'll be interested to get into that. And I would be interested to actually merge AI with this. What I'm going to propose we do is we're going to record our debriefing and
Okay.
we're going to pull the transcript and feed the transcript into AI and come back together after we have the transcript for a second meeting and have a conversation, with the AI model, very specifically about, what it is the model sees there. And then we're going to let it ask questions. Like I have it turned on right now, I think, just so people can hear it. But you can literally even have conversations like, Chatster, I'm going to be talking with Nadine about her tactics she's using in her, I'd say connection failed. Click to retry. Try one more time. Anyway, the point is that I'm not going to do it now, but you would not believe the kind of deep strategic conversations we have both with ChatGPT and Claude. And so here you are with a genuine dilemma. You're not a rookie. You've had success. You know your way around this topic. But for some reason, you started to see in this last year a drop off in the sign-ups for the follow-up meeting. And while I think we may be able to put our finger on one or two things within our own Sean GPT. But I would like to bring the AI models into it because we have had, just to offer an example, Chris Hallman and Elaine Floyd were working on some stuff with the O1 reasoning model in ChatGPT about Social Security and Social Security claiming strategies. And this is a topic Elaine Floyd has been writing about for 20 years.
Right.
And
Well, yeah,
our,
I'm NSSA and I know it. Yeah. Social Security. I mean, Elaine and I have had conversations Mary Beth Franklin from,
Mhm.
She and I have we've done a lot together, events together and this, that, and the other. So, I mean, I am versed in Social Security. Nobody has a question about that. I'm probably
Right.
one of the
No, what I
brains
was
in
going to
Michigan
say is
about
that
that.
the AI models, even with Elaine, actually revealed some things about claiming strategies, not tactics, but certain mindsets. And so that, we had never thought about and have never seen written about any other place. So that was really,
Okay.
really kind of jaw dropping. So anyway, I was just offering that as an anecdote of why I think we could have a strategic conversation about your tactics that you're using in your seminars to see what it comes up with. Just gonna be an experiment. So anyway, let's do that, Nadine.
Okay.
Thank you. Devin, now, first question. How frequently should we be communicating with our email list to stay top of mind without overwhelming them? Yeah, I think we've looked at this issue over the years, like what percent of advisors have newsletters? It's a certain percentage, I forget what it is, but it's not super high. And then the question is like, well, how many have them monthly? How many have them quarterly? How many have them weekly? And uh, more successful advisors tend to have weekly to monthly. They seem to fall somewhere in between there. And so, I think, especially now with AI, because there's going to be, there should be no reason why you shouldn't be able to have your own custom, email newsletter, client letter. The AI makes it so much easier, and that's one of the things we'll be going over in the program. But I would say, 2 to 3 times a month, like you could probably do, one every other week, or do, basically two a month, and then have one in reserve where you just hit your clients, when something happens in the market, or there's some other news, or just like a one-off seasonal thing that you want to promote. So that would be, my on frequency, that would be my answer. And then in terms of the content mix, it all needs to be educational, right? I mean, even when you're promoting your own webinar, whether you've just had one or you have one coming up, there's slides and information embedded in these programs that, you can pull out 2 or 3 slides and riff on the content in the slides and make it, a quick check-in with your clients. Hey, have you ever wondered about, what is the difference between Medicare Advantage and Medicare? And then you can, write a 200-word, quick essay or blog post on that topic, telling your clients, what the difference is, i.e. Medicare Advantage isn't really Medicare. But anyway, so when it comes to the content mix, I would like stick to the educational stuff, but also, from time to time, there's opportunities for you to connect with your audience by being a little more personable, a little more vulnerable when certain things come up in your life that, relate to personal finance. And at the top of the hour, Devin, you were saying, minimum of, what was it, 12. I really think once, AI is integrated into the marketing tech stack for all advisors, there's not going to be any reason why that number shouldn't be higher.
Agreed.
It shouldn't be at least double that. And as you
Agreed.
said, for our program, you follow our program to the letter, I think there's like 50 contacts in a year, which seems about right. But that's only the A+ students that are doing 50. But I really think going forward with this new technology that, everybody should be hitting their clients, way more regularly than that. So that's my answer to that. And now, Devin, I'll ask you, what mix of educational and promotional content do you recommend? All right. I guess I just.
Oh, no, there's another. I have another.
That's
another
right. Okay,
question.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
But there was a question that came in from Chip that I want to address in the chat
Yeah.
quickly. He asked if there are any horse's mouth articles available for social posts and or lead generation, and the answer to that is yes. The all of the article reprints that we pick for each month, in addition to just having an article reprint, we have resources that go along with them, which includes a cover letter and a social media post for each one of those. Of course, you can take all the other article reprints we have. I think our library is over 100 now, and use those to share on social media as well. We have our client letter that comes out every month that can be personalized and shared as well. And then we do have some lead generation campaigns in advisor client. One on key data that is being updated as we speak, just because we just finalized it, but it should be ready in the next week or so. We have a couple other lead gen campaigns within the advisor client program as well that you're free to use and customize. But again, you can use those other materials, things like the article reprints as a lead gen piece. And in our AI for marketing program, we're going to be talking about how to use AI to really up your lead generation creation, and how you can use AI tools to help you really have multiple lead gen campaigns going at once that target different target audiences within your business.
Yeah, and then one of the things that we did earlier this morning, we were doing a live stream relating to AI marketing, our program, but Devin was demonstrating how you can take one horse's mouth article and you can extract 3 or 4 social media posts from that article, or even more for that matter. And so, and you can, spread them out over the course of a month or the course of a week or whatever your tactic is. Yeah, that's another way to go with it for sure.
Okay, and then our second question is here, and I can take that. How would you structure a 12-month marketing calendar that aligns with key financial planning moments while maintaining consistent brand presence? This is, something we did when we came up with the marketing calendar. We knew we wanted it to have monthly themes, just because number one, that's a really great way to organize content. But number two, something we hear from advisors quite often is that they have clients who come to them and say, oh, like, I didn't know you could help me with X, Y, and Z. And so we wanted to build a calendar that was going to touch on the different, financial topics and moments that you help clients with throughout their lifetime. And that was important for us to highlight, the different topics that you have content around and that you can help clients and prospects with. So I would say if you want to do this from scratch on your own, I would sit down and think about the different areas where you specialize and help clients and prospects. Create a list of that. Then also look at the calendar and think about, okay, what makes sense, right? Obviously, tax season, you're going to be wanting to talk about taxes. When we do our calendar, we also look at, kind of the monthly appreciation months, like there's Social Security month, there's Medicare month, that usually aligns with open enrollment. And so you want to think about the calendar from a date standpoint as well, or other, those months that I don't know who decides what they are, but someone decides them, because you're going to seem more timely. There's going to be other news out in the media about Social Security or cybersecurity is October, during the month of October. So if you can capitalize on that and share cybersecurity topics during that month, some of your marketing is kind of getting done for you because they're seeing it in other places. So I would start by creating that list of the topics and areas that you help clients with, looking at the calendar and trying to come up with a monthly theme, and then thinking about, what you can share during that month. Again, that's what we did with our marketing calendar. So our members were on, you don't have to worry about this. You can just use it. But that's the thought process that went behind it for us. And that's what I would recommend if you wanted to do that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the way to go. I mean, you don't need to reinvent the wheel in this particular case. So sure. All right, Devin. Great. And just a reminder, next, when is January 9th? It's a week from the day. Week from the day, we had the first session of our AI Marketing for Advisors program. This is a initial launch of the program, and hope to see you there. I think you're going to learn a lot. So take care. Happy New Year again, and we'll see you next month. Bye now.
Okay.